All right, colors used for the lantern and the railing. It's going to be the same colors. It's raw umber, cerulean blue, raw umber, burnt sienna, cerulean blue, and white. So I'm mixing raw umber and burnt sienna. And the reason we're doing this is just because burnt sienna is going to keep the raw umber when we add the cerulean blue more on the warm side instead of gray, like a cool gray. This will be a gray, but it will be a warm gray. And that's, I'm adding cerulean now to my raw umber, burnt sienna, cerulean. I'm going to take white, put it in, and I can adjust the temperature of that color paint or that color when I add white. As soon as I add white, I can tell if this is kind of turning cool gray or warm gray. Right now, it's warm gray, so it's good. So I'm going to start with the medium tone, so because I added white to it. Let's put some medium tone to this, like medium, and then we'll darken and highlight. All right, change my brush to a smaller round. And let's do a bit of a detail in here. A good round brush helps a lot. There we go. Okay, excellent. That's a great start. Perfect. I highlight it so it's not so dark and strong. Okay, excellent. Good. This is a very good start. All right, railing, same color. It's not thick, that's why it's lighter. And you'll see in a minute that some parts are going to be darker than the other parts in this. So I'm just painting inside the same color. It's raw umber, burnt sienna, cerulean blue, and white. All right, so I've done my homework first and I've put all of those, the lines that I need to cover. I'm gonna go a tiny bit darker. So I'm gonna add blue, more blue. That will give me a darker color. That's good. It honestly doesn't have to be perfect. It's better if it's not perfect. That's why I'm trying not to use, I don't want to use masking tape. If I can do it without, it's better. But if sometimes I find that it's not happening, it needs a masking tape, then I use masking tape. There's no rule. Whatever I find that it's doing the job. Okay. This line right here goes across this way. There. And then it goes across that way. Same as the top part. And then before I start working on this part, which is the back one, because I'm going to make it faint, not as heavy, I'll finish working on the part in the front. I'm getting some areas that are thicker than other areas, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. There. Now for the back one, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to add a little bit more white because it's further away and it needs to be a little bit kind of faint, not as heavy. That's like a suggestion. So I added white, same color, but I added white. Bit of white, so you can see it there, but it's not heavy because it's in the back. It's on the other side of the balcony. I'll wait for it to dry and then I'll see if I need to go over it a little bit more with more color. If it's too faint, I might have to go over it one more layer, but I'd rather wait for it to dry first because acrylic dries darker. So I'm just using raw umber and white for now and just cleaning up this negative painting right now. Making my darks or the paint, cleaning up, making it a bit softer. I'm gonna go back with this one here and highlight it a bit eventually, so. Okay. All right, that's good. This is dry. I think this needs to be a little bit darker. So I'll go with one more layer of the same color. Okay, that's good. All right, we're gonna highlight the lantern. So, but before I highlight the lantern, what I'm gonna do is, I have Naples yellow here. I put a bit of raw umber in it and white. So the raw umber is my first layer with white. That's Naples yellow, raw umber, and white. My first layer for the glass. I don't want it to be too light. Glass part here, it could be any color. It could be yellow, it could be blue, any color you like. I'm just using this color is just because most of the colors around, you know, the color of the walls and everything is an off-white tone or earthy tones. So I don't want to put blue in here for now. Okay, that's really nice. As soon as I put this color, it changed the whole thing. Right, now I'm going to take a tiny bit of on my brush of raw umber. Okay, and I'm going to put it here. Right here. It's just because the trim on this lantern is going to cast a shadow over the glass. And then I'm going to be highlighting. I'm going to be adding more white with this glass. So it's good. Now let it dry. Clean my brush. Go back to the original color, the grayish color. I'm going to add more white. So lighter gray. Okay. And I'm going to come here and just add a couple of little highlights. Top, right here, another line. So because it's bending, it's going to be a little bit darker over here. So lighter here, lighter on top. And it becomes a tiny bit darker. And then let's take, and this is light. So I'm going to be highlighting more in a minute. So I do my highlights slowly usually. Okay, now highlight the side from not all the way up, because again, this trim is going to be casting a shadow. I have a feeling this trim is crooked, but let's do that. Bottom part. Bottom part here too. And all of a sudden, all of this dark, heavy iron is not heavy anymore. It's there, but it's not heavy. Okay, let's add more white. Just have to make sure I'm careful with this. Okay, so now the highlights are darker, so I can go back and adjust and add more white. If I find that it's too light or I'm putting too much highlight, I can always go back and adjust my values. I'm not taking all this strong highlight all the way. Some parts are highlighted, some parts are not. Okay. Now, same with the glass, Naples yellow, raw umber, and now lots of white. A touch of just white. And that's it. I think we're good. Let's do the same with the rail. I'm gonna put some water in my paint. It flows better when it has water in it. Okay, I need a bit more white for the top of the rail and top. Same. I'd rather have the paint should be easy. Like it should have a water in it, so you have an easy kind of flow when you're using your brush for the highlight. So it might not be like that. I mean, like this light, but I prefer that it's light and adding highlights on top for the railing, because you don't want it to take over. It's there, but it's not focal point. It's just kind of secondary, and it's like supporting actors. They're there, but they're not the focal point. If we were doing a balcony that has railing, and that's the focal point, I would be adding more detail, more highlights, making sure everything looks the way it should look. But for this, because when we didn't have it, it looked really freaky. She looked like she's gonna fall off. All right, let's do that. Again, with acrylics, back and forth, adjusting. And you're welcome to do any color you like, change the style, whatever you like to do with this railing. There, it's there, but it's not heavy. I always like to go back and adjust after I put my highlights. Okay, that's good. This is the part of the balcony where you have the most exposure to light. And maybe a little bit here. Okay. Again, same. More white. Oh dear. All right, more white. All right. Okay, good. We're good.